Huh.
What up,
Something
team?
again.
Oh, so
Hey, everybody, what's new
I
in
can't
town? I
believe you
got a
would say
guy
that,
named
Pat.
Butcher Pete.
Wow, really? That's a bold opinion, Patrick. And how exactly do you sleep at night, sir?
Now I have
Chopping
a.
up all the women's meat, keep hacking and whacking and smacking.
Now here's my question. I just discovered that Best Buy has an outlet, an online outlet.
What do you mean an online outlet?
So for things that are like open box or refurbished.
Yes.
That sounds cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you for the news.
Yeah.
I'm here
So
for
I
that.
don't. I'm just, I'm just trying to remember that I am a fiscally responsible person. An infant car seat at Best Buy. That is odd, but sure.
Welcome to the Belchcast. This is now officially a Bob's Burgers podcast. We're doing a hostile takeover over on Ruby Toothpaste.
Listen, I don't get me started because I will lose track of time. But I should be audible now. So yay.
Speaking of
Maybe.
Audible, you can get a free trial of Audible by clicking the link below.
Oh my god, if we got
You
man,
did the
we gotta
worst.
get that sweet Amazon sponsorship money.
So, hi everybody. Welcome to
Hi.
Ruby Toothpaste. This is our
Welcome.
Urban Shadows 2nd Edition campaign.
Second edition.
Yes. Urban Shadows is a role-playing game. It is an urban political fantasy game. The goals are to keep the city dark and political, keep the characters' lives out of control and evolving, and to play to find out what happens. Gosh, I thank you for acting this out now, Leland. I expect you to do this every week.
Oh no. I can't pantomime that consistently. I'll forget.
But yeah, that is it for. I'm Pat. I'm done introducing myself. Somebody else talk now, please. Jen.
Alrighty, hi team. I'm IC Historian. IC Historian, all the places on the internet that I feel like being found. I am pumped to be here, hanging out with you all on this fabulous Sunday. And you can find me playing games in a lot of different places, and having fun doing that. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. So there we go.
Thank you. As I remember that I've got shout out commands in chat if I could type correctly. Zan. It's you. You do.
Yes,
You do the
very well. Yeah, I shall speak from the depths of my soul. Hello, everyone. I'm Zan. We're Insanity TTRPG or Insanity Gaming, depending on where you find me. I am a professional GM and content creator for 5e World of Darkness, Powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other really great games out there. You can find me doing a lot of games, a lot of places. I'll talk a little bit more about that and some real cool upcoming projects I've got coming up here at the end of the show. And I'm going to be playing Yugen as Gray, who is an imp and kind of a douche.
No.
Little douche.
All right. Leland.
Speaking of douches, I am Leland House, and slash Leland House slash Leopold the Just. You can find me on the internet at Leopold the Just all over. I've managed to keep consistent brand naming. Pretty happy about that. Anyway, I am excited to play this game, and I'm playing Vesuvius Nero, totally his birth name. Obviously, his mom was really into typo negative But no, I'm just kidding. His name is Vesuvius Nero, and he is a tainted playbook, which is basically like, I sold my soul to a demon, and now I do demon stuff and got demon powers. Yeah.
That
So
is the dialect of hell. Is your voice goes up a few octaves.
this is what abyssal sounds like.
Souls, I got souls here. Souls for sale.
Souls for sale. Buy one get one free on souls. Anyway, yeah. So I'm basically just like Satan, dude. Isn't really into Satan and
Nice.
demon stuff. That's really about it.
I just think they're neat.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I can like turn into a tall flaming skeleton with a tall flaming skeleton horse. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And that's it. That's me. I'm done.
Cool. And then the last member of our cast is Nikki, who will be joining us when she can. She plays Casey, our summer court sunshine rainbow candy fae. And they're both great. That's intros are hard.
Fits right in with the demon friends.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been no like no mild confrontations that have happened recently. I think we're all
Yeah.
pretty set on there.
Yeah, we're going into this session in a real peaceful manner. So
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember.
pull out
where
your
we
sleepy
were
time tea.
now.
Just
Or-
remember
oh,
that.
this is kind of my fault, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah, so last couple of sessions, because it's been a while, I believe we picked up around Cinderella's castle, where 3 of the 4 members of the group had grabbed, I think it was lunch, grabbed some lunch. Eugenez fell in a hole and found the original owner of the castle, a believed deceased prince who was deceased but is not now anymore because he's a revenant. Surprise.
He's undeceased.
Yeah, undeceased. And surprise is
But not incest.
he's back up and among the walking now with Eugenez's help. Eugenez, who with the snake companion of the prince, performs a ritual to bring him back to life. Let me just measure the cameras there. People are probably in the wrong place now, but everybody is visible, and then I'll fix it later. As soon as I hit that button and that button. There we go. Yes, so, undead prince in the basement. Olive paid a visit to a scuba shop, where the instructor and sort of cult leader, owner of the place, confirmed that she was the one that paid a talented cat burglar to steal some shit out of Olive's basement. Did not seem all that apologetic about it, and I think that's about where the conversation ended, as Olive left, beginning to think of ways of revenge. And like halfway on the drive home remembered, like, wait, I can curse people. Group met up. Eugenez convinced everybody to take a trip to go meet a friend, associate of his, who he told Casey could provide more information about the Rainbow Crown, I believe, was the bait that was used there.
Bait? That's a loaded phrase.
Bribe?
Incentive.
Enticement? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But yes, was the carrot instead of the stick to get his friends to help him pay a visit to Phaedra, the Fae, from the Court of Nostalgia, who I believe the episode prior you had requested some help from. She had her own shit going on, which consisted of sending you a literal cry for help that something was very wrong at the store, which was, put in the to-do pile for later. And it's later now. So, quiet drive from the castle over to, oh gosh, what is the name of the bookstore again? The Broken Spine. There we go. Yeah, totally chill drive over there. Olive did pick up on some static on the radio, and then, Casey wound up coming along for a trip into a underwater vision with, a maybe eldritch horror, old god, I don't know, but something that, due to trying to get a sense of things at the Scuba Academy, now has its attention on Olive. And then we got to the store, which was also totally fine, because Vesuvius opened the door to the store. A whole bunch of water came flooding out, and I want to say that there were some fake alligator pusses, right? They were like alligator octopus hybrids waiting for y'all in there. I mean, maybe not necessarily waiting for you, but present in the store.
Yeah.
They were the first arrivals for the party. Did I miss anything? Because I know it's been a long time.
I don't remember anything else.
Cool.
Same.
All right. Well, then we will kick things off with our poem, and then we'll jump right back into things.
Oh, before you say that, I remember one thing.
Yeah.
Nikki's character had completely forgiven my character, if I remember that distinctly, so we're good on that. Everything's all good.
There's some sort of binding magical contract actually forgave you, right?
Something like that.
She gave you the fish of apology.
Yeah, exactly.
The fey fish that signifies the apology.
Yeah, and I ate its eyeballs with some sprinkles on it. That was the whole thing. That was the ritual.
You misunderstood it. That gave you 7 more deaths.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and add those to the sheet.
Let me just go put them in the pile.
I know, right? That's exactly it. It's just like,
Yeah, 7 additional deaths, and now you basically Casey just owns you forever.
Got it. Sounds
good.
good.
Penny in per pound.
After some number of deaths, it's pretty much just free after that point, right?
Yeah, it's like pretty much just whatever you want. I'm like your assistant for a while.
Well, the poem of this week is called Fairy Tale Logic, and it's by A.E. Stellings. Fairy tales are full of impossible tasks. Gather the chin hairs of a man-eating goat, or cross a sulfuric lake in a leaky rowboat. Select the prince from a row of identical masks, tiptoe up to a dragon where it basks and snatch its bone, count dust specks mote by mote, or learn the phone directory by rote. Always it's impossible what someone asks. You have to fight magic with magic. You have to believe that you have something impossible up your sleeve. The language of snakes, perhaps, an invisible cloak, an army of ants at your beck, or a lethal joke. The will to do whatever must be done. Marry a monster, hand over your firstborn son.
That's not ominous.
No. They never are.
Okay, Be Drunk was legitimately wonderful. I loved Be Drunk.
I like all poems. Well, most poems.
Oh, hey, I've got a great one that I should tell you when we're not on stream. Pat loved it. I'm happy to share it with you.
So much.
Excellent.
So sincere.
Let us share that later then.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's everybody doing? Vesuvius, you, I believe, were at the door with water rushing against your legs. Casey, I believe, had run over to help hold Olive's hair as she vomited salt water into a bush.
Mm-hmm.
Eugen, as I just assume, is in the background plotting.
Yeah, just like looking down at the water, getting the shoes wet. Just like, well, this is going to be a big to-do, isn't it? Just a whole afternoon right here. Great.
Instinctively, Vesuvius would try and shut the door, though.
Sure.
And if that turns out to be a moot point, then
it feels like something we should roll for. The force of the water.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you think?
escape a situation, maybe. No.
I don't know if that would close the door. That would get you away from the door, and then it would be someone else's problem.
Turn to violence on the door. No.
You can take the door with you. I could see some keep your cool stuff that could work.
That's what I was thinking. Keep your cool, maybe. It's probably the only one I can think of outside of. Or get in the way. But that involves circles, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, and that's you get in the way is only 2 rolls that your other players are making.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll just roll.
That's it. Either keep your cool and you tell me what you want to avoid as that you're shutting the door for, or maybe I don't know if you're trying to. I don't know. Maybe mislead, distract, or trick something.
Yeah, I'll just do keep your cool.
Okay. What circumstance are you trying to avoid? Are you trying to avoid the monstrosities getting out, noticing you?
Yeah.
Which one?
Both.
Both? Okay. Yes.
All right. Let's see. This is spirit. So 6 total. Anybody want to help?
Total. Oh
Anybody
yeah, we're in a situation where lend a hand would be appropriate if you all think you would.
Yeah. I mean, the water's rushing into the room we're in, and I'm just trying to.
The water's
close
rushing
the
out of the room. You're
Yeah,
trying.
we're
You're all
in a
outside on the
parking lot.
sidewalk.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
Essentially,
sorry.
you open the door to one shop on the strip.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to shut that to stop it from causing a scene.
I mean,
you can also. So, to get this from a 6 up to a 7, it will require just one of you to be successful in lending a hand, assuming that then nobody tries to sabotage it by getting in the way.
none of us would ever do that.
No. But if you need to mark wild, I believe rolling lend a hand lets you do that. If you need an experience bribe to help your companion.
Yeah, because it does roll with a circle. Anytime you roll with a circle, you mark it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could see what the consequences. I'm not hearing people jumping to help. Is the vibe?
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to help me keep the door shut.
Because it's better for the water to get out. It's obviously coming from somewhere. Like, just let it go.
There's some crazy shit in there. I'm keep from
She's
coming out.
supporting Olive, so she can't help.
That's I wasn't sure if y'all were.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, Olive is taking a moment.
Yeah, no, y'all had some shit. Y'all had some
That's
shit.
fine. Well, all right, door. I give up whenever the door seems to be futile. Let's just move on from this.
Okay, so that was a 6 then that you rolled.
Yeah, I barely held on. We'll say that I almost held it closed, and then it just the pressure of the water was just too much. I'm not for my strength.
So much that I'd say one of these creatures comes tumbling into you.
All right.
Of
course it does.
Yeah, so these guys. I mean, it was a 6. Asshole. I needed some look. We needed some consequence.
I know.
And I so rarely have the opportunity to just throw crocodigators at you.
My character made mental note of Eugenez's in action, so it's okay.
Yeah. Now I forget. Did we say how many of these there were last time, or how many you saw?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, there's more than
a few.
There's more than one, at least. Yeah.
I think the word was few, which implies 3 or more.
Okay. Sparrow's got your back. It's 2. I thought I said 2, but I couldn't remember for sure. Okay, one of the 2 crocodigator pusses comes crashing out on this the pressure vacuum that the door has opened. And does get some teeth into you. So you're going to take 2 damage from that.
Excellent.
You're in its.
One.
It chomps down. It is.
I'm going to.
It's snuggling.
Cool. I'm going to use my new power. I'm a fucking demon to ignore all harm for the first time in any scene.
Nice.
So I'm just going to be like, whenever it comes in and latches onto me, I'm going to basically just that patch of my skin where it bit me, I'm gonna basically do like a minor transformation towards my demonic form, just localized in that area, to where it starts to, like, the skin just sort of starts to like flake away like ash, and the
Those-
teeth are just interacting with flaming charred bone instead.
Okay. Yeah. So,
But it's
what?
just like an aesthetic thing. It goes away very quickly once the thing's no longer latched onto me.
Well, it's still snuggling. It's still up on you.
Okay, well,
But you're not.
Well,
that
then-
that covers you for the damage for sure.
yeah.
What the rest of the group sees, just because I don't know, I can't remember how great a description I gave of these things. It's been a while.
But let's do another one then.
Yeah, they're not identical. They both seem like maybe when somebody was making these things, there wasn't like a specific blueprint of like, this is the part of the body that's the octopus, this is the part that's an alligator, this is the part that's a crocodile. Why would we mix two of those three things into this soup that are already so similar? Who knows? But
So
it's not
an impossible creature scenario.
Yes, it's not like the head on all of these things is a gator and the body's an octopus. It's very mismatched parts all the way around for each one. The one that is currently on Vesuvius has maybe no face. It's some sort of spheroid surface. Spheroid, like kind of like where like the octopus's tentacles kind of coalesce into the actual body. But then on the tentacles, each one has its own mouth. And they're kind of wrapped around Vesuvius trying to take some nibbles.
Nibbles or nipples?
They're not picky.
Okay, either. So they're nibbling my nips. Got it. All
Yeah,
right.
the
Well,
one-
luckily they're demon nips right now, so no worries.
The one that is still in the store, so the remaining monstrosity, is more gatory in body. It's got almost the entire top half of a gator. It's got the gator head, gator torso, but then scaly tentacles out from there.
All right. This is weird.
Yep. we did establish last time that we sensed that they were some kind of fey bullshit.
Yes. Little mix mash crap. All right. Yeah. Well, I know what I'm gonna do, but I don't necessarily. It's not necessarily my turn. So, what's everyone else doing? Unless you want to take it.
No, I think Eugenes is just gonna sigh and walk up and kind of like try to look into the door at the water that's coming out and see like, is there anything else inside? And like, should I be a little bit more concerned with anything else going on here?
Some help here?
Oh, right. Sorry.
No.
Good.
This thing's like biting me. I'm just calm about it because it's not doing anything.
Good.
So it doesn't harm you the first time in the scene.
I know.
Right?
I know. I know.
Yeah, so you're looking around. The water all seems to be... So I think we described the main room where you first come in. Essentially, picture like a Jumanji scenario. Like, this place was a bookstore probably up to whenever you got the SOS. Now it appears like somebody got that monsoon card. All the bookshelves and shit are knocked over. People would be like clinging to those, like the Titanic, if this were out at sea. And the room, before being given an exit for this water, had been collecting to a pretty sizable height. What you can tell now is that, what you would know being a customer of this store in the past, this front room is kind of the cover business. This is kind of the normal bookstore. Phaedra lives in a different portion of the building and, conducts her not mortal business elsewhere as well. Like, keeps her very rare tomes, that kind of shit.
Okay.
She does not appear to be in... You don't see her in the water.
Cool. Is there like blood in the water?
Maybe.
Okay. Cool.
It's murky.
Murky. Nice. Uh, hmm. Has the other Octigator flown out of the room?
No, it's like I said, it's got a lot more. It seems to have gotten more suction cups than its sibling did. So it's kind of like hanging on to some of these shelves.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like it enjoys that the water is not as high as it was, but it can still. Its movement's getting a bit more floppy around than, obviously in its main environment.
Okay. I think Eugenes is gonna look over to oh my god, Leland, I forgot Vesuvius. Gonna look over to Vesuvius and go. I think that's probably going to hurt you in a little bit. It's probably gonna bite real hard. Otherwise, I think we just kind of have to wait for this to drain.
I'm gonna while he's running his mouth, I'm obviously attempting to kill it.
Okay.
Um,
So you're going to turn to violence on that while he's talking?
Of course, yes, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and
What?
actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my very rarely used, like my character
Oh,
walks with a
yeah.
scepter. My character walks with a scepter. Just looks like a normal like walking stick. It's doesn't seem to be used for any sort of like disabled reasons. It's more of a classy thing. Walks around with it, and he twists the gem on the end and pulls out a sword, and is just going to like hopefully not stab himself in the chest, but try and while this thing's nibbling his nips, he's gonna try and stab it in the side and skewer it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to let it out. I want to let it out first, though, and imbue. Can I imbue my blade with like demonic power? So it says
that one of
imbue
your
my
options
touch.
and let it out?
It says imbue my touch, but I feel like if I'm wielding the blade, I can imbue what is that like? I mean, it's just like what sort of difference is it gonna make? Is that cool? I mean, just aesthetically, just like
Yeah, you can do that for aesthetics. That's fine.
yeah, just set my sword on fire. Because normally I would just summon a sword
How much
with my
does your
demonic form.
Hold on.
Well, see, the demonic
One more thing I'll say just as I'm peeking at that, because I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's going to be totally fine. But Yugen, as the only other thing I'll say that you noticed right off the bat was the water level of that initial room did go down when the door opened. It's not continuing to go down, though.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh, that's
And
weird.
then... Yeah, so your sword is actually... Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So you can imbue the sword with demonic power if you'd like.
How much damage does the sword?
So that's the thing. The demonic corruption is 2 harm and armor piercing that you could I'll say that you could use on your sword if you'd wanted to. Otherwise, the sword does 3 harm on its own, but it doesn't pierce armor.
Yeah, okay, I see. Does this thing... Can I... Man, I hate to do all these moves, but can I, like, tell if this thing's armored with figure it out?
You think it's probably armored.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna do the demonic touch on the sword then, and just sort of engulfs in the bright blue flame that overtakes my eyes whenever I turn into my demonic form.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just let it out first.
Let it out, right?
Yeah, let it out. Oh, well then. Only a 5.
Got it. You're not rolling in roll 20, right? You've got something else you're using.
I'm rolling physical dice because
cool.
I want to.
I just wanted to make sure I was. No, it's cool. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing it.
No, yeah, I'm just rolling physical dice. I've decided to roll physical dice more often because the touch is good.
Yeah. So that was a 5.
A 5 total, yeah, because I have a 0 in spirit and I rolled a 3 and a 2.
Okay.
So I do not successfully let it out.
Would 2 people like to help Vesuvius in letting it out?
I don't think
This
that's
would take
worth it.
2 people.
I don't think that's worth it. What are they gonna do?
I mean, I could try to pull it off, but I mean, my heart wouldn't be in it.
I'm fine with failing to let it out. What happens? I drop my sword. It's too hot. Maybe it burns me.
No, I
I'm
think.
still gonna turn to violence. I'm letting you know that right now.
Oh no, I understand that. That was never in question. Yeah, it's you finagle because you're getting kind of coiled up in these tentacles now.
Yeah.
You slip the blade out and kind of try to position it, like you said, without stabbing yourself too.
Yeah.
But in such a position that you could set it on fire. And one of the tentacle mouths snaps around it and actually bites into the blade, shattering it.
Oh, well, that's worse than dropping it.
Yeah, so
All right,
you've got like, does your cane? No, it's a cane sword. So
Yeah.
I was picturing like if you've got like the handle and then just like a little bit like on top, so it's kind of like a shiv now.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Similar to that, but like you've got like the adorned part of the cane and a little bit of the blade.
Got it. The adorned part of the cane is like a big fat chunk of like quartz crystal. So I'm just gonna flip that bad boy around and just start smashing this thing in the head with the quartz crystal. The pommel, my crystalline pommel.
Sure.
Yeah. So turn to violence.
Yeah. So it's because the let it out failed. It does not get demon corruption.
Okay, so it
Stuff
fails. I
on
don't
it.
get corruption.
Yeah,
Damn
because
it. I wanted to be corrupted anyway. So, yeah, so I'm just gonna start smashing it just old-fashioned style with what's left of my sword, which I will have to get recreated. Do you want me to tell you the result of my turn to violence?
sure. Y'all, as this is happening, you get as I think
Give
you're
them a
watching
chance to
this.
do anything. Yeah, give them a chance to do. Anything.
You're watching this. How are Olive and Casey doing? It does not have to involve squid-topus fighting at all. What are y'all doing? Like you hear these squishy and clanking sounds in the background, but that does not have to be the focus of what y'all are up to.
Alice Squidtopus.
Katie's focused on like helping her friend first.
Yeah. And it's I think you've got really the best understanding of everybody what happened to having, jumped into that vision with her.
I think so. I imagine since this, in game time, it hasn't been, 2 weeks since
No.
so it's been minutes. So I think as Olive, how much direction, how much camera control can I take, dear storyteller?
Go for it. What are you thinking?
I think what's weird is that, like, yes, sort of Olive was definitely doing the whole, like, I'm having a moment, like, actual, like, human throwing up. But I think also what's weird is that there is this, like, 100% not a demonic possession movie. You know what I mean? Like, she's actually throwing up, like corrupted ocean water. I think after a while, it's sort of like it sort of leaves her, like this or whatever was there sort of leaves her, and she kind of comes back and very shakily like wipes off her mouth and turns to Casey and like gives her like a really big hug, just like gives Casey like a really big hug, like, oh, thanks, girl. And then, without kind of saying anything about it, hears the clanging and the slurping type sounds, and is like, I guess we should probably get in there and figure out what they've gotten up to. And so I think, and Olive like looks really pale, just, but like is kind of back in a little bit back in the game and like not dazed anymore. Like I don't know if she really knows how she got to the bookstore. Like I don't know how 100% sure she is of how she made it to the bookstore. But yeah. So there's that. And I think in the water, this is gross. Content warning for anyone who has like, I don't know, body fluid, but I think like in the water in like true horror movie fashion, it like as the sort of corrupted seawater like is spreading out, of course, like more than like should have come out of a human being or for the amount of time, like clearly there's something else happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think you see like it almost looks like it's the water like around a wrecked ship, so it's like you're looking into, like if you look down at it, it's not just a puddle, it's like you're looking down into water surrounding a wrecked ship. So it's like murky and like weird. And then I think she's definitely going to go in and try and help Vesuvius and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so it's not to. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt because Casey.
No, it's totally fine.
But yeah, I'll say y'all are close enough that you can see anything that we have described so far. You see Vesuvius in the arms of some sort of tentacled, very many teethed creature, getting a big old bear hug.
Yep, that's all that's happening. We're just
Can I
bonding.
let it out and do like I guess a windstorm to blow the water away?
Yeah, so I'll say just to because it's y'all have had a bit of time now to observe it too, and Yugen has picked up on it looking in the store. But the stream of the water coming out the door doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. Like it's not like the room is draining.
Okay, so like
Oh, I don't have we also I don't think we've covered this yet, but so Casey had the issue where with the crown broken, it hurt it. You run into issues with letting it out, where you take a harm from it. I don't think we've done it since you got the piece of the crown, though.
Oh no, not since we got the crown. No, she's just taking harm because
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think if she wanted to start trying to tap into the crown, we could do that to try and like avoid harm on her. But I think there's also consequences then to the magic of the piece that you've got. Like I think Casey would know. I think you would know that in character that like, oh hey, this is something that would stabilize my magic. But you may not want to like drain all the magic out of the piece that you've got.
you have to have the crown with her because it's in the car.
Oh yeah. Well, you've like magically connected to it. You know, it's essentially you've like found a source of power for your magic to stabilize back on now. It's just you kind of picture it like when the crown is like whole in the symbol of your court, it's almost like a renewable source of energy for the magic of the summer court. Whereas now it's kind of broken into pieces that are kind of like non-rechargeable batteries, where like you may tap this piece out, and then what do you put back in the crown?
Okay, she's going to use it
Cool.
to do like a water spout storm or something to get all the water out.
Yeah. Let's let it out.
Okay, what do I roll?
That is a roll with spirit, which I want to say you have plus
2d6 plus 1. 2d6 plus 1. I
Okay.
can help you with your character sheet if you want. I've got pulled up on this whole monitor over here. No problem. All right, cool. 7.
7. All right. So on a 7, You make the thing you want happen, but the consequence that I'm checking. I will tell you how what you're doing is either costly, limited, or unstable.
Sorry.
So I pick between those. So it's you.
Okay.
You're gonna get your windstorm that you can control. Here, give me a sec, because I like with these where I've got options coming up with two choices for you. Oh, so I've got one in mind. Okay, so two choices here. It could be more costly than you wanted, and a crack is going to appear in the crown. Don't know what that means yet. Or it could be unstable. And with that, the way that it's unstable is that the windstorm that you summon has a God, what's the word? Has like a mind of its own, sort of like it does its own shit, and you're not sure that it won't trash the store. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd like that one. I came up with it first, and I'm like, well, I need another option too. Okay, yes, and it's I think with kind of fitting, and let me know if you think this works. In fitting with kind of like the Disney princess motif too, I think it's almost like a store of like translucent birds that make up this wind.
Okay, so
or you tell me. Fuck that. You tell me how it looks.
okay, Casey looks at what's going on, like she's like nodding at what Olive's saying, and she looks at what's going on, and she just like shoots a rainbow out of her hand. And it goes through the water, and it's like swirls around quickly, like that's what she's expecting, and then they turn to bursts of like colors of like they're in front of a rainbow that slowly turns silver, and it's like everywhere, just completely out of control. But the water, she's got the windstorm in the water, but it's just everywhere. It's like a hurricane almost.
Got it. And it is. What was her goal with it, at least initially? What did she want to do with the water?
She wanted to put it in like a spout out to the ocean, so
you wanted to like take the water out of the store and go like put it back that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
But instead, she made her first a rainbow hurricane, then a hurricane.
Water spouts are cool. Well, scary kind of a little bit, but cool at the same time. If you've ever seen one in real life?
Maybe a birdnado, not a sharknado.
A birdnado. Oh no, poor seagulls.
Birdnado.
Sorry, I turned chaos up more than you probably.
A goldnado.
Goldnado versus gator croctopus.
Is that too much?
No.
Is that too much chaos? I'm sorry.
That's the right amount. I'm about to turn into a demon on these damn things. I don't think.
Yeah, so
I think you just set the stage.
while that was happening, were you rolling to let it out or to turn to violence with your?
I did indeed, and I rolled 11.
11. Okay.
Yeah.
Which on an 11
gives me 2 options, and you get 1 option.
Harms established. So
okay.
We each pick one from that first list, and then you pick one from the second list.
Okay, so when I turn to violence, I roll one on a hit. I inflict harm as established, and my opposition chooses one. So you choose one on the first list, and I inflict harm.
Got it.
So I inflict 3 harm.
So the sword is broken.
I inflict 2 harm. 1 harm. Don't make me go any lower. It's a dagger now. How much does a dagger do then?
I seem to remember you said you were hitting it with the blunt end of your cane.
Oh, that's right. Well, still, how much is a dagger? If someone wants to use the other side of a dagger, I wouldn't be that nitpicky. Come on. Have you ever held a hefty piece of quartz?
What I'm saying, I think if with the fact that the last roll broke the sword, what I would say is, and because the thing is wearing armor, like we talked about, I think
Yeah.
to actually like put some harm on it, you're gonna have to inflict terrible harm. So like essentially increase the amount.
That was what I was planning on doing.
Okay, got it. I was just gonna say because it's so you could do that and actually get harm on it, or you could make some other choices and like
You're
get
getting ahead of
position or whatever
yourself,
from
though.
it. All right, I was just explaining to you.
You got to choose. I'm just letting you know. I'm hit. We're on. I hit it with a dagger, and you're on. Pick one of those first 3 bullets.
Okay.
Let me know what bullet point you got.
Okay.
And then I'll terrible harm the shit out of it.
The two tentacles that are wrapped around your legs take some bites out of your calves, and you take 3 damage.
3 total.
Yes.
Okay. Not 3 separate times.
No, 3
Because that would be
3 total.
okay. Damn it! I almost had you. All right. I'm tough as nails.
So you have armor, right? So it gets reduced to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take 2 damage. I guess I can put that on my character sheet. So faint and then 1 serious. Okay. And then yeah. So cool. It bit me. I whopped it, and now I'm going to. I don't know, man. Just demonic fury within. Start just bashing it even further to inflict terrible harm.
Okay. Yeah, I think Yugen, as if you have an eye on this, you see like the quartz top of this cane is plopping down into this thing, kind of with more force and more rapidity than a normal human strength would allow.
Think of like a fist-sized quartz crystal shaved off of like with the top shaved, like a thick chunk of the top shaved off with the point and everything, and then just like fashioned into this like hefty scepter / cane. And that's what I'm beating this thing with.
Yeah, I think as that's happening, Casey, your cyclone of Fey bird water carriers, half of them have started actually like cycloning up and are taking water out. Like they're moving like one of those freaking fair rides, like the Gravitron things, where there's enough rotational force that the water is being held there.
Yeah.
And is carrying some of the... So, like, a good chunk of your flock is taking the water outside the store, kind of just walking past all of you, essentially, with the water. But there doesn't seem to be an end to the water. That didn't significantly reduce the amount in the room. There are still some birds here working on it.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Somebody was yelling in my ear.
No, it's okay. So a good chunk of the birds have cycloned up and started taking water, you assume, in the direction of the ocean like you requested. Some of your birds are still here. The water level is still right where it was, though. Like, the amount that was removed has already been replaced. Like, the water is... Something is filling this room back up. Yes. Olive?
No, I'm being that kid that's too excited and interrupting everyone, so I'm not going to do that. I was waiting for Nikki.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm. You're not. I didn't want to be interrupting you, Nikki. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got somebody interrupting me anyway, so it's fine.
Can I investigate this place using my power that failed me last time?
Sure. Is this investigate a place of power or whatever under circle moves? Study a place of power. You can study a sanctuary, gathering spot, or place of power.
Well,
Roll with the circle
what
that
circle controls it here?
Wild. It is wild.
Ooh. Well.
See, you're hanging out with all these wild friends. They're dragging you into all their wild business.
Yeah.
You're the only one in the group that's not wild.
Do I have anything? I don't have anything that would help me, do I?
No. I mean, I don't know if you do or not. I will say I know that circle moves, so like this are
Yeah, my
not.
benefactor is a wild, but that doesn't help anybody.
Um. Yeah, and circle moves are also ones that you can't lend a hand with either. Those are kind of
Right.
like just on you. Yeah, there's not usually many bonuses to these, I don't think.
Oh, wait a minute. If I let it out, that's with spirit, isn't it?
Yes.
I can look into the recent past or a coming future of a place or object nearby.
Yeah, you can.
Um, you know what? We're gonna try and investigate. I'm just gonna investigate a place of power and hope for the best.
All right. I mean,
I got an 8.
you got an 8?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. On
I'm
a
rolling
hit-
in roll 20 just in case you were wondering.
No, I was just that's. On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. Ask the MC one question about the schemes and politics of the circle in question. Yes, so you see, with your special eyes, you look at this bookstore. You see past the human front upstairs where the Croctopus and Flood is happening. And I think your mind kind of takes a little mosey about the shop. It's almost like you're going on one of those 3D virtual tours of a house.
Yeah.
You keep kind of like your head kind of like jumps to the next bubble and gets a different 3D view.
Yep.
So you get this room. You see like the next bubble to a little back office that Phaedra seems to keep. And that's the water. You're actually you're not physically moving through the store, but even kind of doing this with your other sense, you get the sense that you're pushing against the flow of the water.
Okay.
It's coming in the direction that you are now heading.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into, Phaedra's in her back office, up the stairs to a living area, and a private like showing room.
Yeah.
That looks like it's got a door that you see the physicality of, and then you blink and you see kind of like the magical underpinnings of.
Yep.
It's kind of, and I think having recently seen Yugenez operate some similar magic, you think that probably takes her to like her vault of like where she actually keeps her important items. Yes. And yeah, and that is this room upstairs. You could feel is where the water seems to be coming from.
Okay. Do I see any evidence of Phaedra here?
No, you're not sure that means anything. Looking now, like you're getting like, I'm trying to think of the right analogy for it. You're kind of getting almost like the magical blueprint view of the house.
So I'm not seeing. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm getting the floor plan situation.
But like living creatures might be on like a different layer in this file.
In the Sims. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have it turned. Okay. So do I have to ask you a question about the politics of this faction?
I mean, you don't have to ask me anything you don't want. You can.
So I don't know an awful lot about Phaedra, right?
Right.
And so,
general knowledge is just that she is a member of the Court of Nostalgia, which, I mean, is not one of the like the seasonal courts. Those are kind of
right, like the smaller one.
Yeah.
So this is not my question, but just am I getting a sense that Phaedra is kind of the Olive of her people, where she's kind of a keeper of like things that sometimes need to be kept?
You think that's really kind of one of the aspects of the whole Court of Nostalgia
in
general?
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And that's definitely a role she plays here in the city.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. So, all right.
And it's with the court, it's always a bit tricky, like, because each member of the Court of Nostalgia kind of has their own things that they see as valuable and are worth hanging on to. And so like a chunk of the collection is like like you were saying, shit that needs to be protected and people would be interested in knowing about. And then another chunk of it is like stuff that probably only that Fae would care about.
Yeah, all of the Doug Flutie Wheaties boxes. I know.
Yes, yeah.
Totally. So okay. My question. I want to know. So the water, I'm deducing that the water is coming from like her pocket dimension.
Or at least that same room upstairs.
Yeah. Who I can ask. Is there like there's no list of questions, is there?
Nope. This is free form.
All right. So I want to know who Phaedra is working for outside of her court. For or with.
Okay.
Obviously Eugenez, because we're here. Or they have some sort of association.
Yeah, so Phaedra's probably not a household name, like not a lot of people go to her for things, but kind of people very in the know that she's good at finding things. Eugenez is one such person. Gosh, are you trying? Her name might have come up actually during the weeks of downtime that we had, because I imagine that the historical society that you were looking into, they probably do some dealings with her as well, when they're researching sites that they're going for.
Yeah.
That actually might be where you recognized her name from.
Okay, so she has a legitimate business in rare books.
Yes, and
but
I mean information trading in general too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome.
She's like the Faye Ask Jeeves of this town.
Yeah. And I imagine that there are people who are, all manner of people are interested in that. So I think after, is she working with Nira? Is there any work time with Nira? No, Nira doesn't really come up.
Unclear.
Okay.
Probably not directly, because Nira kind of contracted out through Skylark to rob you.
Right. So I think after sort of getting a sense of what she's looking at, I think Olive, in a rather she's just sort of matter of fact, is going to turn to Eugenez and say, well, I think your friend may have left a door open upstairs. And I think she's going to begin wading through the water on her way to the stairs.
As you're walking by, my character's struggling with this creature still. I'm just
wait a minute. No, we haven't. Never mind. Sorry.
I thought that was 100% intentional, and I loved it.
Oh,
I did too. I was just gonna react to it sensibly and be like, "What the fuck? Come on, someone help me!"
Like, oh, you've got it.
Can I use my new thing?
Sure.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, I feel like the answer is pretty much always.
So I think that seeing Vesuvius struggle and so I'm coloring this character-wise as Olive's experience has given her a newfound feelings on the aspect of getting her hands real fucking dirty real fast. And I am going to turn to violence on the thing that is attacking my friend.
Yeah.
And because I just took a new move, I'm going to roll with spirit and not with blood.
Well, not just any move, right? This is a corruption move.
It sure is a corruption move, but I actually shouldn't have my corruption tracker full.
But what I'm saying is you get another one now.
I know. It's gonna be real bad. Take a corruption move from somebody else. Okay, so I roll with spirit, which I have a +2 in.
Yeah.
I also can lend a hand, obviously, in this situation.
Yeah.
This would be a
That is a
prime
9.
lending a hand.
I'm
So
going to do that.
yeah, lending a hand would be a good idea here to jump that up to a 10.
Okay, so your power, right?
Power
Yeah.
or mortality. Well,
Power circle.
you've got your move that's like dual
I
power
took
mortality,
dual loyalty,
right?
so either one, whichever one works better.
Oh
It's
my
like
God,
whichever
that-
one you feel is like effective at the
I
time.
needed an XP in both, so I'm gonna click power, just because I needed that one too.
Yeah.
And
Reaching out to psychically attack somebody feels a little more power than mortality.
Yeah, I
Yeah, so
literally
I'm
feel
gonna-
like that's actually what she's doing. Like it's a little bit like Carrie. Like it's a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit
amazing.
like
well, I'm going to basically. Well, I'll say maybe I pick up on that you're using a power at least, and I start just like, you know, feeding your power with my demonic power. Basically, I'm basically just like spirit bombing that shit, just like. Oh.
Take our energy.
Yeah, exactly. Except
Awesome.
it's like some fire and shit.
All
And
right.
Yeah.
you start to actually. Can I say this? If this isn't cool, then that's fine. I was just gonna say maybe your character starts to um, feel like her, like it's hot. You know, like wherever she is, like her temperature kind of goes up a bit.
Yeah, I feel like you see like a little bit of like a smile kind of creep on the side of her face as she realizes that there's like some other power joining with hers. And I think what she does
Yeah.
is it's like a force choke situation. She does not touch the thing. She just kind of reaches out and like squeezes her hand around nothing and very, very slowly. And as she's doing that, I think from Vesuvius's perspective, you see like no matter like how big her hand would have to be, like a hand, it's like an invisible hand is like squeezing around this thing like really, really hard, really slowly, as she like Olive Jones is choking it out.
So yeah, you get a +1, which brings you from a 9 to a 10, which is awesome.
What did you roll?
I rolled it. Oh, sorry, I posted in Roll20. I got a 9. So I'm gonna expose myself to
Danger and danger, entanglement, or cost.
yeah, danger. I mean, I'm already in danger. If I get more danger,
Yeah.
hit me.
So that's a 10. So, roll with blood. On a hit, you inflict harm as established. I mean, I guess we didn't really establish what that psychic energy does, but we'll say it's armor-piercing harm and probably 2 or 3 damage.
Yeah.
Say petition for 3.
So, let's see. They inflict harm on you. So I choose either this thing hurts you back, puts you in a bad spot, or the Croctigator Puss has an opportunity to flee.
Even with
Yeah, so that's one of the things that they did with Turn to Violence is that there's always a consequence even if you roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't read.
It's on a hit. You always do the harm you want, and I pick something that complicates things. On a real good success, you do extra harm, or you get to do some other things.
Since there's no defense stat or anything, you don't roll to defend against this sort of thing. I feel like that's kind of like its own version of making up for that.
That makes total sense. Yeah. Okay. So what happens to me?
Gosh, I think.
Or what happens in general?
I mean, you can do some damage to someone other than me. That'd be fair.
Well, see, but you also just exposed yourself to the danger.
Let's all take some damage then.
That's what I was thinking. So it's. I think part of since this is I would think Olive's first time force choking something. I think I feel like Zan had something to say there. You made a face.
Nope. Good.
At least one thing that I kind of picture, maybe just in my head, with how the oracle-ness of it all comes into play is it's almost like all of the realities, all the possible multiverses out there where this creature isn't being choked to death start collapsing. And it's almost like until all of the possibilities that you see in your head just keep focusing down to that one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just the first time doing this, you get this brief connection with the creature, and just the sheer like panic of what is happening, and the
Yeah.
mental distress that they were in, I
Yeah.
think inflicts a bit of harm back, just on your
Yeah.
first time here, which is shared with your friend and divided since you formed this link together. So you each take one harm of bad squid thoughts.
I assume that pierces my tough as nails.
Yeah, just the psychic stuff is armor piercing. We'll say.
Yeah, I figured it would be. Yeah, well, I'm getting to the critical zone. I'm not so hot myself, which is why I'm probably gonna turn into a demon.
Then Olive, the choice that you get because of the super success of the 10+, you either inflict terrible harm, so you do extra damage to it. You take something from them. You could take Vesuvius from them, or you could take its limbs. You could take whatever you want, or you create an opportunity for an ally.
Okay, so I am going to do a level of harm, and okay, so I'm trying to take.
Yeah, so you always do. If you hit, you do harm as established. Which
what I'm trying to take out of my brain is the whole like how many hit points does it have? You know what I mean? I'm trying not to think about that. So I definitely think that I'm going to extricate, Vesuvius from it. And I think she's just going to continue wading toward the stairs.
Okay. Yeah. This thing is not dead yet, but it is flopping, not necessarily menacingly. It's kind of just. I mean, we're not fluent in Crocto, Gator, Puss, dance communication, so we don't know exactly what it's saying.
Could be trying to mate. You know.
It might be. It might also be like scared and confused and not looking to fight anymore.
How far away is it from me?
Far enough away where you have created the opportunity to escape a situation if you'd like.
Okay, no need. Let anyone else go that might want to go and react to this scene, but I'm gonna step in and flame on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so. Olive gets the squid to let go of Vesuvius and continues like wading into the store. It sounds like Vesuvius looks prepared to dive back into the fight with the Kraken here. Eugen is in Casey. How are y'all feeling?
I would like to let it out.
Yeah.
I've got a rare opportunity at a very valuable bookstore.
I'm so glad you picked. I was hoping
without the caretaker being there. So I'm going to use my let it out to sniff out a secret stash, even when expertly concealed or hidden.
Yep.
I'm just going to be a badman.
Yeah.
You're like that rogue that's like looting the chest while everyone's like.
Leland, have you ever seen me? Play
yes,
a rogue?
I don't know.
No, you haven't. You've never seen me play a fucking rogue for a reason, Leland. I got real bad impulse control. All right, let's go. That 2d6, and I have a 0 modifier. Cock.
So that's a 6.
I just love that. Like
this is what happens every time. I can never. Every time.
Can I assist?
I mean, I feel like you're kind of busy because you're about to.
Whatever.
You said you were about to demon transform back at the shark.
Fine. I'm a multifaceted human being.
How would you assist?
Oh, I don't know. Just by being cool, distracting. Maybe I'm lighting up the room with my flame eyes.
Yeah, if you'd like to roll to lend a hand, sure.
I don't know.
Again, on lower than a 10, you get exposed to danger, entanglement, and costs.
I like danger and entanglement. I live for those two things. Anyway, I'm just trying to help out. I'm trying to be a helpful guy.
No, I get it. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. I rolled snake eyes. So, yeah, I'm here. What's up? Snake eyes.
Okay, so that is we are still at a failure. Two people will now suffer the consequences of it.
Love
Okay.
it.
Well, or
That's what I was about to ask: is if Casey would want to help or not.
yeah.
Okay. Again, same thing I just explained to Vesuvius. You will roll with wild here, which is a +1, I believe, for you. And if it goes well, well, here's the thing: if it goes well, it gets bumped up to a 7, which still exposes you to danger, entanglement, or costs, of which there will be some.
But it'll be a success.
But it won't be a failure, right?
No, you can as well do the thing he wants and find Phaedra's secret stash of goodies. There'll be complications from that then the rest of the party now will have to deal with.
That sounds good.
I got 8.
Perfect. So that
Look at that.
Hey.
Nice.
See, we're friends now. Maybe you should help us with the octopus squid. Oh, sorry, I named them previously. Ala squidtopus.
Okay, so that bumps your let it out up to a 7.
Great.
Whoever rolled let it out earlier, Casey, in case we forgot to say it, don't forget to mark corruption for that.
You have to lead with kindness.
So,
Sam.
you get a corruption for this. You're choosing to sniff
Great.
out a secret stash. And because it's a 7 to 9, it is either going to be unstable, limited, or costly.
Is that for me to pick or for you?
No, that's for me to pick.
Fantastic.
Okay. Again, I like to have been giving you guys 2 options with these for let it out. So there's a costly option.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you what it's going to cost, though. But it's going to cost everybody. Or everybody that participated in that role. It will cost them something eventually. Or limited in that kind of as you're sniffing for this, you kind of set off a timer. And it's like supermarket sweeps here. You've got stuff is going to start disappearing, and it's just kind of shove as much in your cart as you can. So you're gonna know where everything is, but you have a limited window to grab it.
Big money, big money.
Yeah, let's fucking do that. Let's
So I mean, there's the mystery cost, which you don't have to pay till sometime later, and you get all the time you want to look at the books.
That's weird.
I mean, but if I take the mystery cost, then everybody has to pay, right?
I mean, not Olive, because she didn't help you, but everyone
You know what?
else.
That's right. That's a good point. So you know what, Matt? I am gonna do that. Let's let Hell pay.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, well, this sounds like some shit I got myself into that I regret already.
Uh-huh. Yep. 100%.
Well, I better get at least like a cool piece of
I'm
swag.
sure there is something in there.
How does this look, Eugenis?
I think that for like a moment, things stop looking kind of as they are, and they look at the value. They look as the value they possess. So like, okay, yeah, cool. All this gold filigree shit is just complete nonsense. Like, it's fine. It just suddenly turns to like rot and rusted and like. But if there's something that someone, especially like if the more people value X thing, the cleaner and newer and nicer and more ornate and gaudy that it looks. We're talking columns here, marble columns.
Marble columns. Yes. So most of the shit in this, or most of the stuff in this room is shit. You're not catching nothing is catching your eye as shiny in the first room. You hear almost like a humming coming from upstairs. Like something is so enticing, or has so many dollar signs in the view in your cartoon dollar sign eyes now, that it is like vibrating with energy and calling your attention in the direction that Olive is going.
And that is the direction that Eugenes will go as well.
All right.
And Eugenes will after they like and like kind of adjust to the world looking a little bit different. Stop and turn around back to Casey. Go, thank you for the assistance. And then continue rapidly behind Olive.
All right. I know Vesuvius is gonna go demony and start fighting a monster some more. Um, while he is stepped away, Casey, were you thinking about staying and watching the second round of that fight, or were you gonna go into the store with the rest of the group?
Does Vesuvius seem like he really wants to fight this thing?
Well, he's coming back. Leland's coming back. We could just ask him. I feel like he does, but I may be overinterpreting it.
Leland? Bloodthirst? No. That's never happened before.
So, how much does Vesuvius want to fight this thing?
I mean, I don't know. I'm about to turn it. He's about to turn into a demon simply because it heals him.
Well,
So I guess it was going to be in tip-top shape for fighting in a moment. Mainly just to be healed. But it heals pretty efficiently. It's like 2 harm. It's right off the bat.
So he doesn't need any help.
Yeah, we'll see. You can, we'll say maybe he says, stay back for a moment. I'm about to transform or whatever, and warns everyone at least.
So do you need help, or do you want me to follow? Because otherwise,
Well, there's another one. You can, if you want to.
not really.
All right. Well, then stay away from it.
Okay, I'm following to the store.
Yeah, Olive and Yuginez have that thing is not going after people. It's just like splashing around in the store now. So nobody else has engaged the other one.
Just like a pig in a kiddie pool.
Yeah. So,
yeah, Olive is like not even acknowledging it. Like she helped Vesuvius with the one, and now she's trying to go up and find a way to shut off the water.
That's what I figured too, because both Yuginez and Olive had turned on like magic, like key objective vision, and so I'm just like, okay, so they're just not going to fuck around with that thing.
Yeah. Yep. I got the like X-ray goggles because I did the side quest, and now I can see in the mine where the relic is buried, and that's where I'm going.
Perfect. Leland, if you are going to do Devil Inside, you can go ahead and either roll that or do your corruption thing where you just get all the things.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna roll. Okay, I rolled well. 12.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, pick 3.
All right, so I'm gonna
this
heal
is
2
not
harm,
a job for Belphegor, so you don't get one for that.
and I'm not gonna take corruption.
Okay, cool. So just 3 then.
I'm gonna slow down a little bit on the corruption because I do, if I do get to play this character again in this world, then I'd like to not be too corrupt right out of the gate. But all right, so when I heal 2 harm, I start from the top, right? So I would heal faint.
You start
and
from
then
the
serious.
yeah. So
The top in terms of up, but the bottom in terms of damage severity.
Yeah, it's some abilities will tell you like heal serious or critical first. So if not though, the standard is you heal your lighter injuries first.
All right, so I'm gonna heal, and then one of these serious. So I just have 1 tick of serious.
Yeah.
And so I heal 2, and then I'm gonna gain 1 additional armor, so I'm at 2 armor now.
Mm-hmm.
And then my weapon, I'm gonna kind of twirl it back around in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then grip it, and then that's when my skin starts to burn away into ash, and I grow. And at this point, I've stepped inside, and I grow to my demonic skeletal form and light up the room with a bit of blue glow but mostly red. And the weapon I was wielding is now going to like erupt into just like a broadsword made of flame,
Nice.
and I'm going to just try to slay these things. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Slay them, demon mode.
Sure. Yeah,
Style.
as you're position, you're kind of positioning yourself in the one that had been, I guess we'll say, entwined on like the threshold of the store. You're trying to move them inside. It sounds like move the fight inside.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like shift around to the other side of them and kind of like flanking them from the doorway, and then I'm gonna strike them dead.
Yeah, sure. So it's as you're kind of standing in the doorway now, you're getting a little bit battered from behind as these like spectral birds are kind of like firemen patrolling like buckets of water out of the store.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's you can keep turning to violence as long as you'd like with these things.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so
The other one did not. The one that's on the ground did not like keep crawling back at you for another snack. It's just kind of like spasming there.
all right, so I got an 11 to hit, and my weapon does 3 harm.
Is it armor piercing?
It just says 3 harm.
Sure, we will say that slays this croctopus. How does that look?
All right. Yeah, I'm just going to like take the sword and spin it around to where I'm like holding it like this, and the blade's like going down, and I'm just gonna like stab into its spine with the flaming blade, leaving behind like a charred, smoking like slot in its back, basically.
Yeah, it's where as the sword goes in and you kind of like leave that crater there. From that point, it's starting to radiate out. The solid body of this creature starts dissolving into like sea foam and bubbles.
I guess we're not having roast tonight.
Yeah, and it's until it's just gone.
Right.
There is one still frolicking in the store. And kind of like in the waiting pool.
It's a great shot.
Upstairs crew.
Upstairs crew. Okay, everyone but the fucking weirdo in the demon form.
Yes, Olive, you see the door that you saw in your vision, the one that was like covered in magic, where it seemed like was probably her stash. That is not actually where the water is coming from. The water is coming from. It looks like it's coming out of a wall at first. But that must just be the angle that you're looking at it, because you take like a step or two to the left, and it's kind of like you rotate, and where the water was coming through almost looked like a line in the wall. From that angle kind of opens up to a crack. There's like a crack in this wall, and you just see water flowing through it.
Okay.
Almost like a porthole or into somewhere else. You're like looking into an aquarium almost.
Yeah.
But the other door with the vault is also still in this room, but appears closed.
Great. Okay. Dumb question, and I think I probably already know the answer, but since I've already investigated the place, I don't really know what my other investigation like psychometry is. When you examine an interesting object, I don't really know how generous we are with our definition of object.
Sure, like a tear in reality.
I mean, like a wall or like whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of the objects that all of Adeptians are could be tears in reality. You know what I mean?
I think we could be pretty loose with those definitions. I would kind of play it based off of because each of those different oracle moves gives you different questions.
Yes.
So I would kind of play it based off of what questions seem appropriate to what you're trying to gather.
Yeah. I just feel
Like,
like
I think psychometry would work for kind of the wall in this room in general,
yeah. Yeah, I think
or your let it out move as well that we discussed before.
oh, recent past. Well, that my question was recent past or coming future, like, you know what I mean? Is that how limited or open are we going to be with that? You know what I mean? That was kind of my question, where it wasn't like the recent past could be like Phaedra was real fucking sick of the weeping wall and went to Burger King. Like, that's not really going to help me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it would give you more information. It would tell you the wall's not new and where she went, which is
Okay.
It will
Okay.
it'll be relevant information.
Okay. I mean, I'm rolling. It doesn't really actually matter because I'm rolling with spirit either way.
Oh yeah, it's the consequences essentially of a fail.
Right.
That
So
matter.
we're just gonna roll with spirit.
But
I got a 9.
But which move were we rolling?
Oh, I took the I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm gonna go. I think it would make sense for her to actually do the let it out move.
Okay, got it. So it matters in that being a 9 on let it out, it is going to be unstable, costly, or limited to do. And you mark corruption.
I don't get to pick how, do I?
I've been given everybody 2 options for how.
Okay. So unstable, costly, or what?
Limited.
Okay. I mean, I don't really know. Like, okay. I think I'm just gonna go with limited.
Oh no, so I pick.
Oh, you pick. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just waiting to make sure that you were still cool with let it out.
Yes, sorry. Because I feel like, well, like, now that I mean, I feel like I would be escaping consequences if I went and changed my mind now. I committed to let it out. I'm going to let it out.
Right.
So I'm looking into just what's up with this place.
Yeah.
Specifically this crack in this wall. Because holy fuck balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, I've got one option. I'm trying to think through a second one for you. So, I like giving you all options for let it out. Okay. So I think my 2 options here are going to be between a costly and a limited thing. With limited, you're going to essentially see what happened here, but identities of offending parties are going to be blurred essentially. So you're not going to get complete information. Or costly, whoever else was in essentially with costly, it's going to be that someone knows that you are investigating here. Like you are going to attract the attention of, let's say, if somebody attacked Phaedra here, and that's what happened. Their assailants are going to know that you are digging into shit and have you on their radar.
I'm going to take limited.
Okay.
Because I have ideas of how we can circumvent.
Sure. So, yeah, you get a flashback essentially of this room. Phaedra just is reading in a corner, kind of like curled up in a comfortable chair. And suddenly, like again, like some sort of magic is protecting them from your vision, it seems like, or at least is obscuring them.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, I was going to say it's hard to describe, but it's a sixth sense, so I don't have to describe it accurately. It could be weird. it's the figure standing there is like a wave, the wave sound on a white noise machine, but visually.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Like when they have an anonymous witness in a trial and they just sort of blur.
Yeah, but like yeah, and exactly. Phaedra seems upset and like frustrated with their presence here. And you see her reaching for something. This blur goes over to the wall and looks like it like moves a line down across it, and you see like a crack that's opening up like a chasm. That drippy wall is created, and water starts flooding out from what you can between the monsters downstairs and this what you're seeing here. You get the sense that the water is coming from somewhere in Arcadia, somewhere in the Fey realm. That apparently just has bottomless water. So flooded the store or flooded the building, brought those in. Looks like Phaedra dipped out somewhere. And you did see that the blur managed to get into the vault. Like went up to the door, was there for a while, kind of like tracing things, kind of experimenting with a way to get in, which you may or may not be able to duplicate, having seen. But does make it inside, and
Okay.
that's kind of where the vision cuts.
Great. I think she's going to back up in frustration and turn to Eugenes and say, your friend's not here anymore. But if you want to go swimming in the Feywild, be my guest. And she's going to go immediately to the vault and start tracing whatever to see if she can recreate whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what role that would be, or if I can. I mean, I'll answer trivia questions or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, let me go get out my Trivial Pursuit.
Yes.
Gonna have to
The
earn some
Genius
wedges.
Edition, obviously.
Yes. Eugenes, the humming from your cash cam vision is primarily focused at the door that Olive is going up to.
Yeah, Eugenes did not stop to see Olive. Like Olive going into the vision stuff, that's wonderful, that's cool. That door, though.
I love that you're both essentially just very focusedly walking to the same target and like whipping at each other, and like I don't even notice that.
We both 100% took the recommended amount of our ADHD medication this morning and are really, really benefiting from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Took it late yesterday, took it early today.
Awesome.
Yes. Maybe even had some coffee.
Casey, you are also there and see them very determinedly going up to a door that is, you can absolutely sense the fairy magic coming off of, that it's warded, as well as you get. I mean, Olive just said it, but you also get a sense that like, oh, that's a tear into into Arcadia. That shouldn't be here. Those are pretty closely regulated.
I guess I'll just warn them that it's warded. Like, that's warded.
The gate. Are you? It's like above the table. Are you referring to the door going to Arcadia? Okay, cool. And
Also, there's the vault.
Go. Yep.
Yeah, we're both on vault duty right now.
It's 100% Vault Hunter time.
Yeah, Casey's just warning them that it's about what Pat just said.
Yeah.
Just so they know, they don't just since they're kind of hyper focused.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's going to do a. Can she study a place of power?
Yeah, sure. That is a roll with wild.
And that's +1, right?
Yes. Question. It's going to be wild regardless of that. But are you studying the place of power that is the broken spine, so Phaedra's home and shop, or are
Yeah.
you studying the Kraken reality?
Well, no, they're Kraken Reality's got 2 people on it already.
Well, so they are going. So just to clarify, there's a Kraken reality that water is all coming out of, and then there's a door that's got a shitload of wards on it in fairy magic. That is where Phaedra keeps all of her expensive shit, which is where both of them are going.
Okay, then I'm gonna investigate the crack with the waters coming out of it.
Cool. Yes, that is still going to be a roll with wild.
4. And one of them is a 1.
Okay. You still get to mark wild if you need to.
Okay.
Huh. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do with that. Let me think on that for a sec. Is that okay? And then Eugenez and Olive, you were looking at the door. Well, I think, right?
Oh yeah. Big yips. Big yips.
What are we thinking about said door?
Does it open to the inside or to the outside, first and foremost? And
So there's it doesn't.
oh,
What Olive saw in the vision is that after the vision was ending, as the correct whatever wards were broken, the static creature walked through what appeared to be a hanging beaded curtain. That is where this door is.
Let's see what I've got here, because I'm pretty sure I've got something that can do a thing or two. Yeah, I don't really have anything, I guess. Yeah, I don't really. I guess you can also just kind of like look around and like lightly touch the sides of the door, then stop for like reach out to touch the sides of the door, stop, take a step back, and like kind of collect himself for a second and look over to Olive real intently.
Olive is going to kind of look back.
So, the way I see it is 30-30-20-20, right? And kind of like gestures to the people behind them and downstairs.
I think she kind of like smiles a little bit, and Olive and Eugenez have like dealt with each other before briefly, right?
Yeah, they've worked together.
And I think she kind of gives him a smile, like one sort of con to another con almost, and it just looks at him and says, you know, Eugenez, I may be the only person who's ever said this with any real honesty, but I missed you. And go back and start sort of like solving the puzzle of the.
And I'm gonna mark a corruption.
Because you lied to me.
No, because I made a deal that endangered my friends. We're doing this. Fuck these guys. They've got to do their own stuff. No. We're focusing on the door.
Casey, just to jump back to you because I've figured something out. Um, you're kind of just. It's weird because you're just staring into water that seems to go on forever. And it's as you're trying to kind of piece together what you know about Arcadia, like the different courts and the lands between courts that you're familiar with. You're trying to figure that out. You're overwhelmed with a feeling coming from that domain, like from that area. And it's hard to, again, because this isn't a sense that we have. It's I don't know how it would actually feel for Casey, but it's almost like the sparkles in your magic are standing up on end, like when your hair gets peaked, because you know that something the only information that you piece together from this is that something in this pool, in this ocean, wherever this is hungry for your magic. It wants to drink up the magic of the Court of Summer. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to turn around and run out.
Yeah.
Just like out of the building.
Just like, nope. Fuck this place. Don't
I
need it.
assume my character is just like, what?
Sure. Yes. So Casey leaves the room as we start typing the numbers in on the keypad upstairs.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I feel like you've got the information to do this properly. I think it might still be a keep your cool roll to actually execute it without any issue. Like, I think that's the move that most fits. Because it's about trying to, I feel like defusing a bomb would be like a keep your cool move. So I guess we will roll with spirit, and before we roll, what is Olive most worried will go wrong in cracking the safe?
So for Olive, the first thing is to figure out like wrong specifically with opening this.
Essentially, like the situation that you want to avoid, like what you want to avoid happening during this. So, like, if we think that somebody's on the other side of this, like, you may want to avoid making them aware of your presence when you come in, or something like that.
Yeah, I think Olive wants to avoid.
Or like maybe you want to, maybe it's like putting your pin in at an ATM, and you want to avoid Yugen as seeing the code over your shoulder.
No, I think that Olive wants to avoid any sort of like surprised like combat conflict situation with anything on the other side of the door.
Okay, got it. So you want to avoid like walking directly into like a fist, essentially.
Yeah. I think that for Olive right now, the number one thing is to figure out like the sort of getting money part is obviously very exciting because it's Olive and that's always exciting for her. But another big important piece of this for Olive is if somebody's going around breaking into these vaults that are like really well warded, even if they aren't working together, like that's kind of a problem because there's a lot of shit that people have that needs to not be just floating around out there for any whoozle what's it to have access to. So, yeah.
All right.
So you want me to roll with spirit?
Let's roll with spirit.
Oh my god, I got a 4.
4 total?
Yeah, 2 1s plus 2. Holy smoke.
Yugen as assisting would not get that up to a 7, and is the only one capable of doing so. You know what? I've got a simple consequence for it, which I'm not going to share right now because everybody else is already under that consequence, and now you will be too when it shows up.
Great.
But the door, essentially, you recreate whatever. Now I'm picturing the door as Simon.
Yeah, totally. It's like the glyphs in Final Fantasy X, where
Yes.
you have to touch them in the right order.
Yeah, or like you successfully complete the Cloister of Trials for this door, and it shimmers into a bead curtain.
Oh. Oh, so we get in anyway?
Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry about it.
No, I won't. I know that this game works where you really never ever face any struggles for not having done something
No,
well.
yeah, rolling low doesn't mean that your move fails. It just all the time. Sometimes there'll just be consequences.
Right. So Olive absolutely
Sometimes.
Looks into the space before walking in. Do I hear anything or like?
So, do you also pause before walking in, just out of curiosity?
I think Yuganez has 100% done this shit before, and I've got a thing, and I think we're gonna see Yuganez like closely tuck his hand into his side and like grab something and boldly walk in.
Yes.
Olive is going to wait a beat and wait to hear
the answer to your question. Yeah. Yuganez, prepared for Black Friday shopping, goes in. Yeah, Olive, you don't see anyone besides the two of you. Question, because it's not a door, it's a bead curtain. Do you stick your head through the bead curtain to look? How are we visualizing this room?
I think what she kind of does is she takes like a bead strand and sort of like wraps around with the other bead strands and like pulls it away.
Yeah.
It's sort of just this is a bead curtain version of taking like tweezers and being like, we're just gonna be very gentle here.
Yeah,
Olive has also done this shit before, and I imagine like ended up stranded in a spectral mountaintop somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean this probably looks nicer than the last place you were stranded, in that it's in Yuga as you see all of this as well as you stop in your fancy shoes and transition from wet carpet to sand. This appears to be. So picture a combination of the library from Beauty and the Beast, some open concept like library nook hammocky area. It's a warm tropical beach library with lots of hammocks and nooks and cubbies and all that shit.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a very nice, warm, cozy place where Phaedra probably came in and enjoyed her most treasured possessions.
is there stuff still here?
Yes. You're getting dollar signs all over this damn room.
Wonderful. And there's no one, like, as Yuganez walks in, momentarily surprised by the strange shift in scenery. They're gonna pull their hand from their jacket, wielding their most feared weapon, the one that strikes the fear into the heart of all who know Gray Holdings. A cork clipboard. A little clicking pen. And we're going to start doing inventory. And if there's no one hostile, then no big deal. But if there is someone hostile, I'm prepping the let it out move to infiltrate a hostile area by appearing unworthy of concern, because I'm just doing inventory.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's you. Like I said, you don't see anybody else moving in this place. As you're walking in and you pull up the clipboard and maybe look down, I think you noticed there was a path of wet footprints that had come into this place, gone up to a shelf that you could see further back in the room, but there's not convenient third-person shooter like chest-high walls that somebody could be hiding behind. You see, the room is very open, and you see where those footprints went to that bookshelf, and nobody's still here.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool.
Question.
Yes.
Do I see anything related to the shipwreck?
Maybe. Do you mean like books, or because you're seeing a lot of books?
Right. Anything like
there's not like the figurehead of the ship is not like front and center in this library, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean like so as like Olive is going through, does she see any books relating to the shipwreck?
Probably. It depends how much time she's gonna spend going through here, because like this is not. So when I said so, I guess I should clarify. You guys are seeing a ton of very expensive things in here. Not everything in here is super pricey and valuable. A lot of this is literature that, for whatever reason, struck a chord with Phaedra throughout their very long life, and so this place is stacked.
Yeah.
There is, I think at some point that you'd find something relating to the ship. It just might take a while because there's a lot to search through in here.
Okay.
So if you've got something that lets you hone in on something like that, otherwise it'll just take you some time. Just because we've got people also like leaving the building and engaging with Croctopi.
I think the only thing really would be another psychometry roll is the only thing that I think
we could, and it all depends on whether whether Olive thinks she needs to get this immediately now while the opportunity presents itself, or whether it's something that can wait until like that you have the time to wait in here and take your time shopping or reading.
So about this, I think I'm gonna take. Can I look while we cut to like what other people are doing?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I was painting a picture of how big the room is. This is like
a
Barnes and Noble size collection of books, probably.
Right, and I think are they organized? Like, I mean, by like, do you see them by like appearance of age? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a section where there are some that are older and some that are not, or
they're? God, I almost feel like this should be like a luck roll, but I feel like they're organized, but in whatever system Phaedra has developed for organization.
Okay.
If you can help me with that, I would actually like to use genuine police to try to understand the organizational system as I am studying a place of power.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we get to use that move finally.
Cool. So that is investigate a person or place, I think.
When you put a face to a name or study a sanctuary, gathering spot, or place of power, roll with mind instead of the relevant circle. You will always get to ask the MC an additional question about the person or place in question, even on a miss.
Fantastic.
So you normally have to roll this with wild, like Olive did earlier, but you could use your mind instead.
I would rather use my mind instead, and that's going to be a +2. Holy shit, another 6. But that's okay, because that's an 8.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay. Got it. Yes.
So I ask 2 questions? 3 questions?
On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. Ask the MC 1 question about the schemes and politics of the circle in question.
Except 1 extra.
You always get to ask the MC an additional question, yes. So you get 2 questions.
Is that a basic move thing? I'm trying
it's
to
under
find...
circle moves.
So the circle moves. That would be why I couldn't find it. Study of place power. So, C plus.
So we are studying specifically Phaedra's sanctuary here.
Yes, I am trying to figure out a fucking organizational system that Phaedra is using.
Sure.
Because I've got my little clipboard out and I'm making some organizational notes, and we're going to have a visual representation. After I take a quick walk through, I'm just going to be able to go back and take the things that are fucking relevant. Quick categorizing means that you don't accidentally miss anything important.
Got it. So that's our first question: is what the fuck is this organizational system of this library?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yes. So it appears to be sorted out into. You tell me how you arrive at this information. But Phaedra's organizational system for her library is that texts are sorted by the feelings that they invoke in her.
Hmm.
So either something is, is heartwarming to read or sends chills down her spine would be different sections. And
Uh,
as such, like the same text can change over time and may wind up in a different place in the library as what it means to her changes.
I think those are represented by like different, being made of different like materials. Like something that's sorrowful is going to be made out of a really nice, weathered old leather. Like definitely something that like okay, so cows were kind of hard then, and this cost money to fucking make. And whereas like something that is bright and joyous is going to have like a little bit of sun. It's going to um, be made of more silks and more like uh, elegant finer, like more flashy fineries, more diamonds and things like that. Or something, that is quietly sophisticated might shine with rubies or something.
Cool. So you do get one more question too.
And one more question is, um, based on where the footprints are going and the organizational systems that I'm able to understand now, what's the best idea I have of the thing that I assume is taken? Not what it is, but like what would it fit?
The and yes, this it almost it invoked an emotion in her so strongly that it almost warranted its own section,
Hmm.
as like fear and repulsion, or like not maybe repulsion is not the right word, but something like dangerous that she's that she essentially like is being kept like almost either as like a remind something that she keeps like out of responsibility almost,
Hmm.
like something dreaded that like if like does not fit obviously with the rest of the library because it's not the sense of enjoying something like horror like vicariously or anything like that, how like a sad story could still like you could still enjoy. This is something that
Hmm.
you get the distinct sense is being kept here for someone else's safety and not because she wants it here.
Okay.
And I think you recognize that so quickly, like the scent of you recognize the scent of it because you got it came up in the tone of her voice when you went to her to talk about the Court of Tides.
Hmm.
She shared information with you, but like made it clear that like they're secretive, they're dangerous, people don't talk about them. And
Hmm.
she held this whatever book was taken because it's no longer here, but
Hmm.
the absence of it in the library is kind of what you
Hmm.
feel, and you get the
Okay.
connection kind of between the two. That
Okay.
that's kind of where you've seen her exhibit that response before.
Interesting. Um, I will give a surmised version of that to Olive. And well, there was something here. She was afraid of it, and now someone has taken it. Shame they beat us.
Yeah. Do you have any idea the sort of stuff that Phaedra tended to be afraid of?
Context clues being what they are, I'm going to assume it is almost certainly something related to the Court of Tides.
Well, that would make sense.
But they were very tight-lipped around me. So,
Whoever came and took it definitely appears to have gone back that way.
back into the Feywilds, I suppose.
Yep. And Olive is going to continue sort of like scan. Now that sort of the thing is gone, she's going to sort of keep looking over the shelves.
Yeah.
I might try Actually, can I try psychometry on the place, the shelf where the wet footprints go up to?
Sure.
So, because that is like the history of this object. I mean,
No, it absolutely fits. I don't need to be convinced.
Oh, that's a 10, boy.
Nice. On a hit, ask the MC questions from the list below. On a 10 plus, ask three questions.
All right. So, first thing, I guess I would like, what is the history of the actually I'm asking about something that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the history of the object?
Okay. This Yep, so the book that is missing, the text that is missing there, it was an old fairy text, more of like a bad bedtime story, or like a cautionary tale about the Court of Tides, cautionary to other courts, essentially, as a tale essentially about different courts over the years that thought that they were above reprisal, thought that they could control the whole system of the fairy world, and then met ironic ends at the hand of the Court of Tides.
Okay.
Very much like a Court of Tides, like, conspiracy board / boogeyman story.
Right, but it also totally is a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, oh, and he talked a lot, so then his face turned into a whatever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that type of deal. Great, love it. Okay, so there's that, which is a great time. I would also like to ask, what secrets or mysteries has this object been privy to? Like maybe who took it?
Mm-hmm.
Just as an option. It is a secret and also a mystery.
It was definitely taken by a representative of the Court of Tides. The secrets or mysteries the object has been privy to. The fairy tales in it obviously are real.
Mm-hmm.
And involve details that would let people, that would make people aware of certain rituals that the Court of Tides would prefer to keep secret because it lets them do their work more silently. So it's almost got some of their, it's almost like a investigation file, like when you're trying to, like mind hunters. I can't think of the term.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're trying to assemble a profile on someone.
Yep.
This has kind of got like all of the Court of Tides information, like their modus operandi of how they operate and get shit done, as you might actually be able to identify several members of the Court of Tides based off of events from there, which is a secret that they prefer to keep to themselves.
Okay.
So, like, if they were for instance, if they were planning some big shit in the city going down soon, it would. This is a book that they wouldn't want people having access to.
Interesting. All right. I feel like that. Where does this object belong?
Okay, that's a good one. Or there's a good answer for you. Because you get a picture of a room. Not really a room so much as a cavern
Love it.
that you've seen before.
Is it in a sewer?
It's not. It's got 4 columns where at one point you saw a tied up fae named Snowpea as the
Love
water
it.
level of this
Okay.
place was rising. You see a dais in the front, or kind of in the center of this room, where an old tome is placed. You think that the object is going to be brought to whatever this stronghold is of the court, where they're going to work some ritual. It essentially it belongs with the court for whatever great act they're about to unleash.
Great. Great. And we have not seen hide nor hair of Snowpea since, like...
Last we heard of Snowpea was our good friend Don. Everybody remembers
Right.
Don.
Right.
While chatting with Belphegor at the club, had made an arrangement that Belphegor was supposed to protect Snowpea. But during that same time, Clegg, the Autumn Fae, had asked for Don's help in doing just that, and then sent a text that made it look like Snowpea got abducted. And we never really followed up from there.
Great. Okay, so,
You know what? And just for the hell of it, you see, as the camera was zooming around that room, kind of where you got a peek of Snowpea before, you got a peek of somebody different this time. Briar, that was the Spring Court Fae that everybody heard had been kidnapped during the downtime.
okay, awesome. Great. I definitely think that Olive is going to step back and sort of like nod a little bit, kind of taking it all in. And she's going to turn to Eugenez and say, just out of curiosity, and I don't want to interrupt your inventory taking, but do you have extensive dealings with Faye?
No, but there are lines of communication available.
I think that just sort of some things are unfortunately coming together in ways that we did not necessarily expect.
I see.
And she's going to kind of go back to looking at, like, in this sort of area where it seems as though it's like the stuff that had a lot of emotion. Phaedra is a court of nostalgia, yes?
Yes.
So I think after Eugenez kind of talks about what he kind of has surmised, Olive is going to take a little bit of a gamble. Not like anything extensive, but she's going to take a little bit of a gamble and say that as a member of the Court of Nostalgia, and kind of knowing that this shipwreck is like more than just one of the billion shipwrecks that have happened all over the place for forever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is sort of the this is the chunk of the room that has the sads. Olive is going to look in this area, kind of having felt, I imagine, for a sort of flavor text and not really like plot driving purposes, but having felt the tension and sadness and lack of resolve sort of permeating this area.
Sure. No,
And
there's
that's good.
there is absolutely a book that I think you will find having to deal with the ship in this area. But if it's okay, I'm gonna cut downstairs for a little bit before we jump back into
get rid
that.
of me. I'm just going to take the book. There you go.
Casey and Vesuvius. Two questions, I guess. I know Casey fled from the upstairs because, again, fuck this place. It wants your magic. Fuck, like, this place is cursed, essentially. Do you stop downstairs? And Vesuvius, are you actively trying? What is your approach with the remaining crocagator puss?
I'm just trying to play defensive role and keep it from attacking any of the others and going upstairs.
It seems to be happy just like smashing wood from the bookshelves and stuff down. It seems like it's just playing.
All right, I'm gonna remain in my form defensively.
Yeah.
And
So that-
just wait for them.
Yeah, so it's pretty early on into all the stuff that we just did upstairs. Casey would be coming down the stairs. You would see demon mode Vesuvius, and you would see this weird crocodile gator octopus creature like smashing up the downstairs bookstore, like it's playing with toys in the tub, kind of.
Yeah, she's gonna keep running. Okay. She's like leaving.
Before you leave, you hear,
Did help.
I'm just gonna say it wants my magic, and then I'm gone. I'm like,
it wants your man. Okay, yeah, it takes my character a second to register what you said, but then his eyes kind of go his eye sockets kind of go wide with blue flame, like kind of like a surprised skeleton.
yeah, she's not sticking around for that. She is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna remain in my form though, just in case this thing decides to get violent for any reason.
Got it.
I will call up to the stairs and say,
I'm holding this thing off. No worries. I didn't need your help anyway.
Yeah. Y'all hear some shouting from outside the beaded curtains, but there's also there's kind of like a it's not ambient music, but there's like sound effect. Like you've not seen any birds, but you hear like songbirds and chirping and shit in there. Like she kind of like she magically programmed in all her favorite relaxing nature sounds for reading. You hear Vesuvius's gruff demon voice like peeking its way in through the curtain. Casey, where are you heading? Like just waiting outside, or are you just like, nope, got shit to do?
No, she's well, she doesn't have a car because she drove with Olive. So she's going to try to find somebody's car to take.
Yeah, so like, as in hotwire and like take, or
I don't know. She doesn't. She's just trying to get as far away from this as she can.
Yeah.
Or a motorcycle to steal, or
sure.
call an Uber. And then steal their car. Bedlam, fear.
You tell me what vehicle you find that you want to take.
A motorcycle.
Okay. Cool. Do we think the keys are like in the motorcycle? It's just like idling there.
I think, yeah, I think it's the next door over.
Got it.
Somebody ran in for something, or they're talking or whatever,
Sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, you take it.
and she just and like speeds off. Like she's trying to just get far, far away. So hopefully she doesn't leave. But
Yeah. No, you are free to go wherever you'd like. I essentially just like, I guess, kind of wanted to get a sense of if you had somewhere else you wanted to go, because it's. I imagine they're gonna. The vault might. I don't know how long we'll spend in the vault.
okay, see, her instinct is to just run and get as far away as she can, but that's not good because that takes her away from everything.
Not necessarily. It could. You could be going to a different thing, and it's. You can let everyone know where you're going. So it's not that like
You
no
could
one
go
can
to the
follow you.
gorge. You could definitely go to the gorge. I'm sure nothing bad, but nothing
Jump the
bad.
gorge on the motorcycle, even.
Fairy powers make wings.
Okay, so she gets on a motorcycle, she speeds off, like the person is probably like, what, this person's, she stole my bike.
Yeah, you speed off as your spectral birds are still trying to carry water away to the sea. Some of them have definitely split off and started doing their own thing, but there is still like a steady line of like birds still trying to get rid of water that keeps coming.
She takes the bike and goes to, I guess, towards Mary Ellen's house.
Yeah, perfect.
And when she stops, she gets her phone out and she just texts her friends, had to get out, it wanted my power. Nice knowing y'all. Bye.
And then this is where Casey has established our first BFF group chat. So now we have a BFF
Yeah.
group chat.
Yeah, it's a group chat.
Important.
So what's the
Yeah, she's intending
what's the
on getting there.
wave? Like, is this like Facebook? Is there like a group, like
What's
one
the group
button that we all
emoji?
have to acknowledge?
Oh, yeah, what
that is
button
our
emoji
group
is our, like-
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
Which one is it?
Messenger.
Who made the group?
Oh no! Like,
What's
what,
your
what do
favorite
you want the
emoji? What
emoji to be?
emoji with Casey?
It's the rainbow emoji.
Oh, of course, yes. Perfect.
Yep, should have seen it. Yep.
Should have seen that one coming. Mile away.
Did Casey Did Casey grab her bag of crayons and fairy magic from Olive's car?
Left it.
Did she leave it? You
Yeah.
okay? I was asking because like you totally could have taken it if
No,
you
she
wanted.
left it.
Okay, got it.
Where was it at? In Olive's car?
In her glove compartment.
Oh, okay. Well, Olive will have it. You're one of your BFF chat members will have it.
She left it in the car of the trustworthy member of the group.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trustworthy. I've got so much debt towards everyone.
Honestly,
Right.
Vesuvius might be the most trustworthy among us. Unfortunately, it pains my soul to say it, but I think that's the situation.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, she intends on getting calling Mary or getting Mary Ellen and just like riding off into the sunset, which is never going to work, but for lots of reasons.
Yeah, I think she's. Where does Mary Ellen have a house or an apartment?
Probably, yeah. She seems like a house person.
Okay. I think you see her. You pull up on the motorcycle and she's just sitting out on the front steps.
Like, get on, we're leaving.
Well, okay, I'm ready. I thought you were gonna be here already. What slowed you down?
I ran into some trouble at the bookstore.
Sure, as you do. Not a gang fight this time though.
No, not this time.
Not yet, or not this time.
Not this time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still a little bit beat up from that, but let's just go. And where do you want to go? Anywhere.
I forget. Had we decided a place that we were going to go with Mary Ellen, or was she just going to meet you all somewhere?
Just going to meet somewhere.
Yeah. I'm happy to go wherever you'd like. It'll be nice to catch up. Is this the kind of trouble that you need to lay low from, or?
Yeah, I kind of need to lay really low for a while.
Okay.
You have a place where I can lay low, where I won't get beat up for a while.
Well, if you're welcome to crash here if you'd like. It's been a while since any fights have broken out in my home.
All right, I'm in some pretty big trouble. Are you going to be okay if I'm here? I don't want anybody coming after you.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I see what happened was I found part of the rainbow crown, but then I lost it, and they still think I have it.
Who's they?
I don't know. There's just people after me after my magic.
After your magic? Like you specifically?
I don't know. They were scary.
Okay. What did they look like?
She's going to describe the people at the bar.
The people at the bar. Which
No.
people at the bar?
When there was that whole battle and she found the crown.
Yeah. Just all of the people at the bar.
Yeah, she's going to just start. Yeah,
Okay.
she's going to tell her that because she's not going. She's going to tell her that, and
Yeah.
they were following her.
Yeah. So
So
we had because at the
So that's corruption, right?
yeah. So at the bar we had Scythe's group. We had the gang, the vampire werewolf drug gang, and we had the hunting organization, and then we had a group of summer court knights that showed up too.
Yeah, she's just painting it like they've been following her,
Got it.
and yeah, she's lying, so she gets a corruption, right?
Yeah. Well, if they're following you, let's get inside. Don't let anyone spot you, I guess. Because no one would look for you here, right?
I don't think they would look for me here, and I'm sure they think I'm injured in a ditch somewhere.
All right. Well, perfect. It's my house. It's not like warded or anything like that, but I tend to get a sense for if trouble's going to happen. So I'll let you know.
All right, I trust you.
Feel free to figure her out at any point if you'd like.
Yeah, she's gonna figure her out.
Yeah. Roll with mind.
Okay, what is that? Is that like minus?
I forget. I know you've only got a minus in one thing, but I forget what it is. Let me check. No, you're -2 in blood. You are +1 in all the others. So
Okay.
2d6 + 1.
I got a 10.
Sweet. So on figure someone out, roll with mind. On a hit, ask 2 questions. You did not get a 7 to 9, so we don't have to worry about that. If you're in their circle, ask an additional question even on a miss. So you get 3 questions from this list.
I'm in her circle.
Yes.
I thought she's not.
Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm not. She's power.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So two questions.
Okay. Can I really trust you?
So there's a list of questions that we have to
Okay,
use.
sorry, I forgot.
But we
about
might
that.
be able to make something work from there anyway. So
forgot
there's
about
there's
those.
who's pulling your character's strings, what's your character's beef with blank, what's your character hoping to get from blank, what does your character worry is going to happen, how could I get your character to blank? That could be like tell me the truth or be trustworthy if you want, or how can I put your character in my debt?
Okay, how can I get Mary Ellen to? Was it trust?
It's anything you want. So it's how can I get your character to, and then you can fill in whatever you want.
How can I get to
I
tell me?
posted it in Roll20 if you're in there.
Thank you.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Leland.
Thank you, Lynn.
Oh, there's also a form on Roll20 that's got it in there.
And I just blinked on that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
How could I get Mary Ellen to tell me what's really going on.
I think there's two ways. Um, One, if you tricked her and convinced her that you already found out what was going on, and just went with that. Or I think the only other way would be if Macy would have to give her the approval to cut you in on what's going on.
Okay.
So if she thought, like, if she was under the impression Macy wanted you to know.
Okay, so do you want what Casey's going to do, or the second question first?
Totally up to you, because you could do something and you could hold the second question for a little bit later in the conversation.
Okay, she is going to tell Mary Ellen that Macy talked to her friend and she was going to get the book to Macy. You're muted.
No, I just wasn't saying anything yet.
Okay,
I was trying
all
to
right.
figure it out.
So she's going to get the book to Macy because Macy needs it to
Got
because and that Macy is going to have her friend kill her.
Okay.
It's not technically a lie.
No, but it does still fall under mislead, distract, or trick. So you don't have to mark corruption for it, but that's definitely the role we're gonna make.
Okay.
To essentially convince her of this circumstance.
It's not entirely a lie.
No, but it's the circumstances that are being stretched are definitely misleading.
Yes, they are. So that's what am I rolling?
You roll with mind. On a hit, they're fooled, at least for the moment, and then there's a list of things you get to pick.
Oh dear.
So it's 2d6 plus 1.
7.
7. Okay. That's good. So it's on a 7 to 9, you pick 2 from this list. There's 4 things, and it is also on that document on Roll20 that I will bring up again. But you create an opportunity, expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them for some time, or avoid further entanglement.
Find an opportunity. Oh, create an opportunity. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And like, for instance, like that is, you might like trick somebody to like try and create, like how we say to escape a situation you need an opportunity. Like this would be one of the ways of making one, but it's not limited to just that, obviously.
An opportunity to turn the table somewhat.
Okay. And you get 1 more from the list.
And I'm looking for the list again. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the others are expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them for some time, or avoid further entanglement. Kind of since they get a little bit like sticky at the end, the way I interpret those is like confuse them for some time would be like she answers back with like to give you this opportunity, and then your response to it isn't like immediately found out. You know what I mean? She like if we didn't pick confuse them for some time, I think she would realize she fucked up with what she tells you.
Okay.
Whereas like avoid further entanglement would be like she might not realize it now, but she's probably going to realize at some point.
I want to confuse her.
Okay, cool. I didn't. Macy didn't tell me that you two were going to be working together.
No, it's happened really quickly, right as this was all happening, and then how could I put your character in my debt?
So yeah. Oh, okay, okay. That one. So on a large scale, there's like a large scale and small scale ways to get her in your debt. Um, Small scale, like she might need she is an oracle as well, so she might need your help like getting like a specific focus or ingredient at some points that she's been needing for to like try and work a ritual. Um, Long like kind of bigger picture stuff to get in her debt. You'd have to actually do something to help the Court of Tides with what they've got planning.
Um,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Because there's like lots of small shit that you could do to get a debt on her, but that's kind of like stuff that would like be more than one debt or would like resonate more strongly. Would be like to assist the court, which she is working with.
Okay. So, Mary Ellen, she's going to offer to assist the court.
Okay, yeah, and it's well, no, it's I'm happy that you're on board. It's that was my only that was the only reason I thought that we should have cut you in from the beginning, but Macy wasn't sure you'd be on board. But I guess if
Oh, I'd do anything to help you, Mary Ellen.
well, it's not me that needs the help so much as well, it's more just still damage control at this point, keeping eyes off of us. The ritual's still on schedule, no hiccups there.
Whatever you need.
Yeah. And then we can. Is there anything more you were trying to dig out of her right now?
Um, I think I was just trying to get a general idea of what was going on.
Yeah, so I mean, she and Macy are definitely working together. There's, like, it seems like they're aligned with the Court of Tides. And yeah, at least for right now, for some time, Mary Ellen is believing that you are in on this with them.
Okay, well, I will act very weak and frail and just play along for now.
All right. Yeah, I think she, obviously she'll lead you inside, and kind of, set up shop in like her workspace, kind of where she does her. I don't know how you'd want to. She doesn't have like a business like Olive does, where where like people go specifically for that. She's more of kind of like an unknown. Like she doesn't advertise her services, if that makes sense, but she's still got a kind of like a den or a workspace where she goes to like focus on if she needs to focus on piecing together information from visions, that kind of thing.
Okay, can I do one more quick thing?
Yeah.
Do I have to mislead her to have me leave me alone there?
To get her to leave you alone in her workshop?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. That's mine, right?
Yeah.
And
you would just have to tell me like how you're trying to. Are you trying to like get her out of the room or?
Yeah, so that I can look through all of her stuff.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Or okay, never mind. I was gonna say only other way I could see to spin it would be like a keep your cool type thing, where it's like you're like peeking at shit and you're trying to like avoid her noticing, that kind of thing.
Oh no, I'm trying to get another corruption.
Okay.
So that I can max the meter out and gain all the fairy powers.
Okay. On an 8, essentially. So what do you ask her to do?
The dark side.
I pretend like I'm going to like pass out. And I ask her for something to drink.
Okay. Yeah. Um.
But I probably have bleeding sparkles somewhere because I'm always injured.
Got it. Um. So I think this is gonna be create an opportunity for sure.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't tell you what your opportunity was the first time. I had something in mind, which is, because I forgot to say it out loud, that Macy is going to come here at some point. So, like, you've got the opportunity to listen in on that or catch them unawares or what have you.
Okay.
Or essentially, you know specifically where Macy will be at that time. So for this one, creating an opportunity to get you to leave the room or get her to leave the room, essentially. And then what of the other three?
Can so it can't be creating two opportunities.
It can. It's just then she's not going to be confused and entanglements will happen.
Oh, okay.
You can absolutely pick. I'd be fine with two opportunities. It's just the other things then do happen.
Okay. So she's going to pretend like she's like passing out and to get the water to go through all of her things.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, what were the other ones again?
Okay, so we've got expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them for some time, or avoid further entanglement. I've got a pitch for you, which is, you could find some. I would give you what I think is a pretty substantial weakness flaw in here. But by picking that one, that means that she's not going to be confused as to you getting it, and she's going to kind of figure out what's going on.
Oh, okay. I don't want her to figure it out.
So it's like you could get something with the expose a weakness, like you'd get like some pretty legit information as opposed to just kind of like a casual once over of the room while she's gone. Like I'll let you know what kind of stuff is in here. But for a weakness or flaw of the court, I think you'd have to pick that one.
Okay.
Or while she's out of the room, you could then do a different move, like you could investigate a place of power or something like that.
Investigate a place of power.
Got it. So it's creating an opportunity, you want her confused about it, and then we're going to investigate the place.
Yes.
Okay, let's put a pin in that, and we will jump back to our friends upstairs in the sanctuary. At any point, Vesuvius, you're welcome to go upstairs or go wherever you'd like as well. So please interrupt me. If Vesuvius tires of watching the creature frolic and destroy shit while yelling things up at his friends like, I didn't need your help anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he just shrugs and shifts back into human form and walks upstairs.
Yep.
No, you didn't take up time. No, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I'm replying verbally to a text chat. Secret text chat. Anyway, yeah, no, I just go up there.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
No, absolutely. No, that's perfect. Olive, where we left off was you were looking in the let's just call it the dread section of Phaedra's library, and you absolutely find a book that sets off your sixth sense radars. It is a book. It is a book that must have had limited publication because you've never seen it before, but it's an old, it's a collection of oral histories about Ruby Tooth Bay. And so, you get that, you absolutely think that, like the sinking of the ship was a pretty, notable part of the history. It would definitely be in there. If you start investigating the book, if you start flipping through it, which, do you do that? Sorry, not to.
Yeah, I think what's basically happening is that, so Olive, in her mind, is like, I am not going to get a better financial deal out of this because Eugenez is here. So, like, whatever is happening money-wise or whatever currency he's dealing in, like, this week, he's absolutely, like, it's not Olive's skill set to somehow finagle like to screw him over, and it also doesn't really benefit her in any real way. So like if he wants to, I mean, he's got his own. She sort of respects the game, I guess.
Yeah,
So
he's the banker in Monopoly. Something is happening with the money. We're not going to figure out what it is. We just got to deal with it.
yeah, and what I think she's basically trying to figure out is information. And I don't know if necessarily the things that she's looking for are necessarily going to also be things that are particularly high in monetary value.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she definitely would be flipping through this book.
Yeah, I think the first thing that strikes you is that these stories don't appear to be in chronological order. You get a lot of stories of, back in the day, the founding of Ruby Tooth Bay. It was founded as a treasure hunting community. There were lots of wrecks in the nearby region, gold and shit washing up, and one of the items that brought the town the most attention were the ruby teeth that it got its name from, which were these big ass rubies that kept washing up on shore, in the shape of like jagged teeth, but like the teeth are about as big as a head. And these just every so often, periodically, they'd wash up on the shore, and then just kind of go missing out into like general circulation. The stories that you actually get are a few times throughout history where somebody tried to amass a collection of these, just like try and like we're gonna reconstruct the mouth of whatever these rubies came out of or something like that, or I just want them all, give them all to me. And any time the stories all tend to end in tragedy after a certain critical mass of these teeth in the same place under the same person's ownership is reached. The owner of the sunken ship was somebody who collected these rubies in their spare time. And throughout these stories, like, some of them have illustrations. And as you get to them, and like kind of almost, it's not out of frame because they're drawn, but kind of like hidden, like Where's Waldo. You always see these like red tentacles in the background. And yeah, you're flipping through. I think you probably, like I said, you get to the page on. Gosh, I know we named this. I know I named this boat at some point too. I want to say it was like the Silent Swan or something like that.
Yeah.
Once you get to the Silent Swan section and you're kind of like flipping through, there's like news clippings from the time. Like I said, illustrations, and this is where you get to one illustration that almost looks like somebody drew it in like a fever dream afterwards, because the colors aren't accurate for, that's not what water normally looks like, and like, well, that thing's got way too many eyes to be normal. But it is one of these tentacles kind of like reached in and around and through different holes in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you hear over the birds and just calming nature noises chirping and humming around you. You see the eyes on this tentacle in the image blink, and you hear a familiar voice from your experience under the water. It's like, I told you we would be keeping an eye on each other. And I think that's where we'll end this week, if that's okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, everybody okay? Yeah.
This is end time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
great.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just over here.
Yeah. So shit went down at that bookstore. Phaedra's probably still alive, or at least y'all haven't found a body.
I feel like as Olive heard that, she probably, like, in their mind communication, went back and said, "It's nice to know we both are the type to keep our promises." Like, all right, okay, Sailor Cthulhu.
Sailor Cthulhu.
Yeah. It's the last season of Sailor Moon. It got real fucking weird.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh. My imagination went into a bunch of directions just now. Thank you.
Dude, would you say it like tentacled out in a whole bunch of directions?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh.
What?
I immediately went to hentai, and that's my fault.
Oh.
You're right.
Oh. Oh. それはエッチですよ。どうしてすごく気持ち悪いですよ。
What?
Yep.
Why don't we
What?
go
Yep.
around? We'll do outros. Tell us where we could catch y'all, cool shit you're up to. You are, as Leland has been doing, you're welcome to give, fun moments from the game if you want to. No pressure either way.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it.
You want to go first?
I'm gonna go first. Yeah, I'm going first. I already knew I was going first because I was gonna start talking first. I rolled initiative already in my brain. I don't know what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? My favorite part was how I played Dungeons and Dragons in a bookstore while everyone else played Urban Shadows. So that was cool. Well, Olive played a little bit of Olive and Casey played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons by casting crazy spells. But anyway, no, that was very fun, and I also liked I like how Casey's character's not outright lying, but still kind of doing some devious stuff, kind of. I feel like
Doing some
your character's a
espionage.
spy right now,
Yeah.
right? You're in spy mode. Is that what I've got? Is that what I've got?
Well, somebody broke her, so now
Yeah.
she is out for figuring out what's going on and getting revenge.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to be in spy mode to get all the good info. So that's exciting. And it's just I just had fun with a group session, even if we were split up a little bit. It was still fun. It was still fun. We were in the same block.
I was gonna say any Urban Shadow session where everyone's in the same building is the group is together.
Yeah, exactly. And you can you can find me next on this Wednesday on this same channel playing a game that Zan will plug. Yeah. And what else? Is there anything else? No Kickstarters. Yeah, if you want like some food based 5e content, check out Fat Magic RPG on Kickstarter. All right, cool. Now I'm done.
Cool. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go next. I'm IC Historian. I'm still IC Historian, all the places on the internet that I feel like being found. I think my favorite part of this whole thing is how, even though we all have like disparate stories, like we're finding ways to interconnect some things. And I like, because Olive and Eugenez have not interacted with each other really up until right now, like during this actual game, because Eugenez was in a hole, and then there was a bar fight, and with Snowpea, it was not Snowpea, other people, somebody else that I forget. So it's cool that we got to do that, and I'm gonna make this shipwreck. Like, damn it, we're not letting go of the shipwreck. And I'm super excited to see what happens when Casey actually becomes a little conniving. I'm very excited for, like, the glitter has a sharp edge. I'm very here for it. I love this idea of, like, throwing stars, glitter, but it's like morning star, like throwing stars. I love it. So I'm pumped for all of that. And yeah, I am going to actually, this starts my like half week of a lot of role playing, because I am on Gaming the System tomorrow night with Zan. We're gonna have a great time playing Wander Home, and I think I'm actually GMing coming up. I should probably look at that schedule. And then on Tuesday I'll be on the Black Feather Guild with Zan and Pat for Standing Stones, which I'm very excited about. And then on Wednesday, I will be in chat for They Came From Beneath the Sea, kibitzing these fabulous people as they live it up in a neon wonderland.
Well, this is gonna be sepia because it's a western.
Oh my god,
Prequel.
because it's the prequel, right?
It's the prequel. It's gonna be
Right.
everybody's great grandparents.
Oh my god, I love that.
I was gonna
It's
say,
great.
is it full prequel or are we going back in time? Because
Hey,
Nash's
you know
character is
what?
already a time traveler.
I haven't. Well, Nash's character, but Nash's actor isn't,
As far as we know.
as far as you know. That is, I don't. The answer is something more mysterious than I don't know. But it's actually I don't know.
Either way, I love that game and it's been so great to watch and I'm having a great time with it. So I look forward to it and it's going to be awesome. And that's me.
Awesome. Zan, would you like to go?
Yeah, totally. So I am Zan. I'm a professional content creator and GM for 5e World of Darkness, powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other really cool systems out there. Like has been mentioned and probably will continue to be mentioned. You can find me here today and on Wednesday. We'll be wrapping up. They Came From on Tuesday evenings. I'm on Black Feather Guild with all the wonderful folks on Sanding Stones. And Tuesday and Friday mornings in the wee hours, I'm on Polished Cryptid's channel. And yeah, on Mondays, I'm on my channel for Gaming the Systems, where this week we are doing Wander Home, and next week we'll be doing a fantastic one shot of They Came From Beneath the Sea. But probably not quite as fish themed. I am tentatively titling this one. We're gonna spoil some stuff. I'm tentatively titling this When the Pope Prays, which is a pun on a couple of levels, and we'll have some fun with it. Yeah, and also I am working on a because not because I also am in the process of publishing a revamp of the 3.5 Dread Necromancer as the 5e Dreaded Necromancer, which shifts the focus from it being a egotistical journey to become immortal into the unfortunate reality that someone who is a little bit too innately connected with the forces of life and death. It's more about society's view on them and the things that they have to do to stay grounded in society and the various benefits that come with being able to exit the stream in the way that they do. It's a really fun class doing some really cool stuff. I'm actually playtesting one of the subclasses, which is the Omen, on Polished Cryptid's channel tomorrow. And so that will be fun. It's a cool little high offense and high counter and mobility styled subclass. So it's a lot of good fun, a lot of powerhouse stuff going on. All designed to counterspell all of it. And yeah, that is my whole thing. I do other stuff in other places. Just check me out. I'm probably gonna play some Blood Bowl 2 at some point this week and scream on camera because I haven't had a good rage scream in a long time. Good rage stream, I think, in the entire time I've had the Twitch. So,
Oh, sorry. Oh, perfect. Nikki, anything you'd like to plug?
I'm jealous of all of y'all. I have absolutely nothing until Thursday. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. For me, I'm Pat. You already found this channel, which is where I am at some of the time. I'm also on Black of the Guild on Tuesday, as has been mentioned, in Standing Stones, which is just way too good and pure compared to most games that I play. Or that I feel like a lot of us play. Wednesday, back here for the finale of our Neon Knights trilogy of They Came From Beneath the Sea. And then I will be back here next Sunday again. And that is it, everybody. I hope everyone has a great evening. I hope you enjoyed us back after a couple of weeks off, and hope you join us again next time. Bye, everybody.